On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Recognizable.
Easy to become aware of or identify.
Examples:
To a recognizable degree. Recognizable landmark. His car was easily recognizable in the parking lot.
Logo.
A symbol or design that represents a company, organization, or product used on packaging, advertisements, and other materials.
Examples:
Logo design. Brand logo. The company's logo was on the side of the building.
Initial.
Of or happening at the beginning, noun, the first letter of a word, especially a person's name.
Examples:
Initial velocity. An initial letter. They took the initial step toward reconciliation.
Belong.
To be the property of someone or something, to be a member or part of a group, to be in the proper or appropriate place.
Examples:
Belong to different species. Belong to a group. All the books in this section belong to the library's rare collection and must be handled carefully.
Profitable.
Making or likely to make material gain or profit.
Examples:
A profitable job. Profitable trade. The Prohibition Amendment made bootlegging profitable.
Corporation.
A large company or group of companies that are controlled together by law as a single unit.
Examples:
A public corporation. Corporation assets. 4 companies were amalgamated into a single corporation.
Boom.
A sudden increase in economic activity, or a sudden happening that brings good fortune, a deep, loud, and prolonged sound.
Examples:
Boom in sales. A sonic boom. The high-technology industry is enjoying a boom.
Spice.
A dried seed, fruit, root, bark, or vegetable substance primarily used to season or flavor food.
Examples:
Spice recipe. Spice flavor. He added a pinch of spice to the stew to flavor it.
Pioneer.
Inventor, explorer, someone who is among the first to achieve something.
Examples:
Act as a pioneer. Early pioneers. John Whitney was a computer animation pioneer.
Overwhelming.
Very great or intense, so powerful that you cannot fight or react against it.
Examples:
Overwhelming majority. An overwhelming victory. He has shown signs of uneasiness and overwhelming worry.
Grant.
To agree to give or allow somebody.
Examples:
Grant a new license. Grant a land. The chairperson granted him the right to speak.
Wage.
A particular amount of money that somebody earns, usually every week or every month, for work or services.
Examples:
Unpaid wages. Increase in the minimum wage. His wages continued to rise as his skills improved.
Conduct.
To organize and carry out a particular activity.
Examples:
Conduct a background check. Conduct research. Police will conduct random breath testing for drunk driving.
Diplomacy.
The art and practice of conducting negotiations between nations, organizations, or people. The fine art of dealing with people in a sensitive and effective way.
Examples:
The language of diplomacy. The art of diplomacy. Effective diplomacy is necessary to resolve conflicts and maintain relationships between countries.
Seize.
To catch or take hold of someone or something suddenly and forcibly, to capture the attention or imagination of something.
Examples:
Seize a person's property. Seize the day. He has the superpower to seize a business opportunity.
Colony.
A country or an area that is governed by a more powerful country that is often far away.
Examples:
Plant a colony. A colony of bacteria. The colony declared its independence and became a republic.
Intent.
A strong determination or attention to do or achieve something. Adjective, having a strong determination to do or achieve something.
Examples:
The intent of a question. Intent gaze. The designer's intent was to create a minimalist aesthetic for the interior of the building.
Compete.
To strive to achieve more success than someone or something.
Examples:
Compete against a friend. Compete fiercely. You must compete with others to obtain this position.
Empire.
A group of countries ruled by one leader or government.
Examples:
Empire building. Empire of the Maya. He has built a thriving e-commerce empire.
Nutmeg.
A spice made from the seed of the nutmeg tree, used to flavor food and drinks, the hard, aromatic seed of the nutmeg tree.
Examples:
Ground nutmeg. Fresh nutmeg. I love adding nutmeg to specific recipes to give them a warm and spicy flavor.
Precious.
Uncommon and extremely valuable.
Examples:
price of precious metals, precious information. We cannot afford to squander precious time.
Cult.
A small religious group, especially one that is not part of a larger religion and that is regarded as outside the norm, followers of an exclusive system of beliefs and practices.
Examples:
cult members, cult's practices. The cult leader promised his followers that they would achieve enlightenment if they followed his teachings.
Exclusive.
Not divided or shared with others.
Examples:
exclusive authority, exclusive clubs. The condo offers exclusive access to the beach.
Investor.
Someone who puts money or capital into something to gain financial returns.
Examples:
investor lawsuit, a real estate investor. Institutional investors refrained from buying stocks amid the booming economy.
Survival.
The state of continuing to exist or live, frequently in the face of difficulty or danger.
Examples:
survival ability, survival food. He evaluated his chances for survival rather pessimistically.
Deprive.
To take away something from someone.
Examples:
deprive others of profit. Deprive him of his status. He was deprived of his freedom when sentenced to life in prison.
Adversary.
A person, group, or force that opposes or fights against another, an enemy or opponent.
Examples:
adversary team, political adversary. The boxer's toughest adversary was his fear of losing.
Hinge.
A joint that holds the edge of a door, window, lid, etc. and allows it to open or close.
Examples:
a stiff hinge, insecure hinge. His involvement is the hinge of our plan.
Submission.
The act of giving a document, proposal, etc., to somebody for consideration or judgment, the act of giving in or yielding to a superior force or authority.
Examples:
submission agreement, submission of a final report. The submission deadline for the project is next week.
Ruthless.
Lacking in pity or compassion, willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals, regardless of the consequences for others.
Examples:
show ruthless behavior, ruthless brutality. The dictator was known for his ruthless tactics and had no qualms about using violence to maintain power.
Compose.
To write music, poetry, or formal writing, to constitute or make up a whole, or a specified part of it.
Examples:
compose an essay, compose my thoughts. The structure is composed of 3 main components.
Confederate.
A person who is allied or associated with another person or group, especially in a political or military context, a supporter of the Confederate States of America.
Examples:
Confederate soldier, Confederate government. The 2 countries are confederates and have a strong alliance.
Orangutan.
A large long-armed ape with red-brown hair that lives in Borneo and Sumatra and has arboreal habits.
Examples:
Orangutan arm, female orangutan. The researcher found new species of orangutan on the island.
Retain.
To keep or continue to possess or maintain something.
Examples:
Retain information, retain a lawyer. Computers help people retain specific memories.
Virtual.
Being actually such in almost every respect, existing in essence or effect, though not an actual fact.
Examples:
A virtual image, trading of virtual currencies. She is the virtual president of the company.
Monopoly.
Exclusive control or possession of something, especially an area of business, a board game in which players try to gain a monopoly on real estate.
Examples:
A government monopoly, monopoly in distribution. The government strived to protect its tobacco monopoly.
Merchant.
A person who buys and sells a large number of goods, especially one who imports and exports goods.
Examples:
Merchant bank, agricultural merchant. This shipping company has several hundred merchant ships.
Persuade.
To convince or induce someone to do something by presenting a reason or argument, to sway or influence someone's decision or opinion.
Examples:
Attempt to persuade. Persuade a hijacker to surrender. She tried to persuade her brother to join her on the trip.
Treaty.
A formal agreement or pact between 2 or more countries or other international entities.
Examples:
Treaty negotiation, global climate treaty. The 2 countries signed a treaty to establish peaceful relations.
Guarantee.
To promise something will happen formally, especially that certain conditions about a product, service, or transaction would be met.
Examples:
Guarantee a high quality. Guarantee women equality. We cannot guarantee enough raw material sources.
Exchange.
To give something and receive something else in return, often with the implication that the items being traded are of equal or comparable value. Noun, the act of giving or taking something in return for something else, a place or system where goods or services can be bought, sold, or traded.
Examples:
Exchange rate. Exchange a few friendly words. My sister and I frequently exchange books as we love reading.
Consequence:
The outcome of a particular action or event, especially relative to an individual.
Examples:
Unintended consequences. The consequence of an argument. These economic activities had disastrous environmental consequences.
Represent:
To speak, act, or be present on behalf of another person or group, to form or constitute.
Examples:
Represent by a diagram. The characters that represent numbers. We elected him to represent us at the international conference.
Threat:
A strong indication or likelihood of harm, danger, or adverse consequences. An expression of intent to inflict harm or injury on someone or something, often made as a means of coercion or intimidation.
Examples:
Economic threat. Environmental threat. The threat of severe weather prompted the city to issue an evacuation warning.
Attempt:
An act or effort of trying to do something, especially something difficult.
Examples:
The attempt to rescue the hostages. A reckless attempt. The third attempt was far more successful.
Fort:
A military structure designed to be defended from attack.
Examples:
An isolated fort. Fort gate. The stone fort was built to protect the city from invading forces.
Smuggle:
To import or export something or someone without paying appropriate customs duties, often illegally.
Examples:
Smuggle drugs. Smuggle herself out of a country. He was able to smuggle a gun inside the prison.
Insist:
To say something clearly or demand something forcefully, especially when other people disagree with or oppose what you say.
Examples:
Insist on a clear answer. Insist over and over. He insisted that she pay her debt to the last penny.
Deflation:
A decrease in the general price level of goods and services, the act of letting the air out of something.
Examples:
Anti-deflation policies. Deflation of the lung. The economy is experiencing severe deflation.
Refuse:
To show that one is not willing to do or accept something.
Examples:
Refuse a request. Refuse the company. My initial reaction was to refuse.
Relation.
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Deteriorate.
To become worse in quality, to decline or degenerate.
Examples:
Deteriorate at a slow pace. Deteriorate condition. The patient's health deteriorated rapidly after being diagnosed with the disease.
Villager.
A person who lives in a village or small rural community. A person who is part of a close-knit and traditional community.
Examples:
Villager community. Local villager. The rural villagers were saddened by the destruction of their homes in the natural disaster.
Ambush.
The act of hiding and waiting for someone before the sudden attack.
Examples:
Attacking from ambush. Ambush marketing. Armed police officers lay in ambush in front of the criminal's house.
Admiral.
A high-ranking naval officer commissioned to serve as commander of a fleet or naval station, the commander of a naval force or fleet, a naval officer of high rank.
Examples:
Naval admiral. Respected admiral. Many high-ranking military officials attended the admiral's retirement ceremony.
Escalate.
To increase in intensity, size, or severity, to make something greater, worse, or more serious.
Examples:
Escalate into a major international incident. To escalate. The situation quickly escalated and turned violent.
Strategy.
A detailed plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall goal.
Examples:
Military strategy. Develop a strategy. Our plan includes a comprehensive marketing strategy.
Entirely.
Completely.
Examples:
Entirely satisfied with the meal. He was entirely to blame. Later, his claim was found to be entirely false.
Exterminate.
To destroy completely, often referring to the eradication of pests or weeds.
Examples:
Exterminate pests. Exterminate communism. The government exterminated the invasive species to protect native plants and animals.
Approval.
The belief that someone or something is good or acceptable.
Examples:
A written approval. Express my approval. This project took a lot of time to get the president's approval.
Superior.
Better, higher in quality, or more advanced than others.
Examples:
Superior performance. Provide superior customer service. The new smartphone model is superior to the previous version in terms of speed and features.
Massive.
Enormous amount, very heavy and solid.
Examples:
Massive amounts. Massive stars. The recent economic downturn has resulted in massive layoffs.
Invasion.
Armies act of forcibly entering another country or territory to take control of it.
Examples:
The Turkish invasion. Home invasion. An invasion would most probably result in a political catastrophe.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Sovereign.
A king or queen.
Examples:
Sovereign wealth fund. A sovereign state. King George was the sovereign of England.
Colonial.
Of or relating to a colony, equals a territory that is controlled by a more powerful country, to the period of time during which a country or region was a colony.
Examples:
Oppressive colonial rule. Colonial style. The city has a rich colonial history, with many historic buildings and landmarks.
Claim.
To assert that something is true, to demand or request something as one's own, to lay legal or moral right to something. Noun, a demand or assertion of a right or something that one believes to be true.
Examples:
Claim responsibility. False claim. He wants to claim ownership of the abandoned property.
Detect.
To find or recognize something, especially something difficult to see, hear, etc.
Examples:
Detect a bad event. Detect smuggling across borders. The security camera has detected 4 intruders.
Conspiracy.
A secret agreement between 2 or more people to perform something harmful or illegal.
Examples:
Political conspiracy. Conspiracy theory. There was a conspiracy of silence about a legal police interrogation.
Eliminate.
To remove or get rid of someone or something.
Examples:
Eliminate contestants. Eliminate sexual barriers. We can eliminate this possibility from those consumptions.
Resistance.
The act of defending oneself from an aggressor or refusing to accept something.
Examples:
Resistance movement. Resistance to insulin. The bill to increase the consumption tax had passed despite much resistance from the public.
Torture.
The act of causing intense pain or suffering to someone to punish them, extract information from them, or for some other reason.
Examples:
A torture chamber. An instrument of torture. The use of torture is strictly prohibited under international law.
Extract.
A short passage taken from a book, piece of music, etc., a substance obtained from something through a specific process. Verb, to obtain from something or to remove something by effort or force.
Examples:
A brief extract from the book. Botanical extract. Anesthetize the gum before extracting the teeth.
Confession.
A formal statement in which one admits that they have done something wrong or illegal.
Examples:
A confession of guilt. A confession of faith. The prisoner made a full confession and admitted to his crime.
Troop.
A group of soldiers, especially a large one, a group of people, animals, or things considered as a unit.
Examples:
The members of a military troop. A troop of deer. The troop of soldiers marched through the city in a parade.
Brutal.
Harsh or cruel.
Examples:
Brutal bully. Brutal honesty. The brutal attack left the victim with serious injuries.
Decimate.
To destroy a significant portion of something or reduce by 10%, to cause extensive destruction or severe damage, to drastically reduce in size or number.
Examples:
Decimate population. Decimate economy. The hurricane decimated the small town, leaving behind destruction and devastation.
Starve.
To suffer or die from lack of food, to cause someone or something to suffer or die from lack of food, to deprive something of necessary nourishment or sustenance.
Examples:
Starve for a victory. Starve to death. If you don't eat soon, you're going to starve.
Enslave.
To make someone a slave, to deprive someone of their freedom of choice or action.
Examples:
Enslave poor peasants. Enslave indigenous people. Her beauty enslaved me completely.
Distant.
Far away in space, time, or where you are, far apart in relevance, relationship, or kinship.
Examples:
A distant memory. Distant ancestors. The sun set over the crest of distant hills.
Cliff.
A steep rock face, especially one at the edge of the sea or a river.
Examples:
A bold cliff. Cliff diving. He stood at the edge of the cliff and looked out to sea.
Surrender.
To cease resistance to an enemy or opponent and submit to their authority.
Examples:
Surrender at discretion. Surrender an insurance policy. The enemy was forced to surrender after a long battle.
Flee.
To leave by running away, especially out of fear or danger.
Examples:
Flee their homes. Flee abroad. It is a basic instinct to flee from a dangerous situation.
Survivor.
A person who remains alive after an event in which others have died.
Examples:
Ovarian cancer survivor. A single survivor. The shipwreck survivor was rescued after floating in the ocean for 3 days.
Settle.
To reach an agreement of disagreement.
Examples:
Settle a dispute. Settle down in the town. I don't want to settle for second best.
Preserve.
To keep or maintain a particular quality, feature, etc., especially to prevent it from decaying, being damaged, or being destroyed.
Examples:
Preserve my strength. Preserve a country's heritage. They worked hard to preserve the nature of their native lands.
Remnant.
A small remaining quantity of something, considered separately from what has been lost or destroyed, a surviving piece or fragment of something.
Examples:
Remnant of the past. Remnants of fabric. The only remnant left of the ancient civilization was the crumbling ruins of their temples.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples:
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Indigenous.
Someone or something that is native to or occurring naturally in a particular place.
Examples:
Indigenous crop. Indigenous peoples. The indigenous plants need to be pollinated by local insects.
Plummet.
To fall or drop suddenly and steeply, to decline rapidly or sharply.
Examples:
Plummeting sales. Plummet against other major currencies. The stock prices have plummeted in the last hour, causing concern for investors.
Slice.
A flat, often thin, piece of bread, meat, cheese, etc., that has been cut from a larger piece, a wound made by cutting.
Examples:
a slice of the company's revenue. Slice a tomato thin. The children complained because one slice of cake was slightly larger than the other.
Workforce:
all the people who work in a company, industry, country, etc.
Examples:
skilled workforce. The workforce is on strike. Many companies outsource and hire consultants to keep their workforce flexible.
Genocide:
the intentional killing of a large group of people, especially those of a particular ethnic group or nation.
Examples:
genocide victims. Genocide resolution. The international community condemned the genocide in the country.
Supercharge:
to increase the power or energy of something.
Examples:
supercharge economic growth. Supercharge the battery. They supercharged the engine to get more power.
Economy:
the system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Develop:
to grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Contribute:
to give something, especially money or goods, to provide or achieve something together with other people.
Examples:
contribute a large sum of money to the fund. Contribute to society. Government workers cannot contribute to political campaigns.
Criticism:
the act of analyzing, evaluating, or judging something, especially literary or artistic work, to find fault with it or to offer suggestions for improvement, the expression of disapproval or censure.
Examples:
criticism from the public. Harsh criticism. Constructive criticism is always helpful to help improving one's work.
Celebrated:
renowned for possessing admirable attributes.
Examples:
celebrated artist. Celebrated paper. 3 celebrated tenors performed during the president's inauguration.
Nation:
a large organized community of people living in a particular country or region and having a particular culture.
Examples:
Nation state. A seafaring nation. The nation of Japan is known for its unique culture and advanced technology.
Hero.
A person who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities, a character in literature or history who is central to the plot and who exhibits heroic qualities.
Examples:
Local hero. Unsung hero. The soldier who sacrificed his life for his country is considered a national hero.
Massacre.
The indiscriminate killing of a large number of people.
Examples:
Massacre site. Bloody massacre. The massacre of innocent civilians shocked the world.
Statue.
A sculpture of a person or animal, typically made of stone or metal, that is intended to represent the subject in a lifelike or symbolic way.
Examples:
A beautiful statue. The ancient Egyptian statues. The statue of the famous hero stood proudly in the town square.
Mount.
To increase, go up, or advance gradually or continuously, to prepare and supply with the necessary equipment for execution or performance, to ride on something or someone.
Examples:
Mount a hill. Mount a counterattack. They mounted pictures on the paper in preparation for the birthday card.
Removal.
The act of taking something away or off from a particular place.
Examples:
Dental tartar removal. Removal truck. The removal of the statue caused much controversy in the community.
Commodity.
A product or a raw material that can be traded, bought, or sold.
Examples:
Commodity tax. International commodity. The government announced a policy to control the rise in commodity prices.
Profit.
Money that is earned in business or by selling things after deducting the costs involved.
Examples:
Gross profit. Make a profit. This business yields little profit.
Soar.
To fly or rise very high or to a great height, often with great grace or ease.
Examples:
Soar in popularity. Soar to new heights. The bird soared through the sky, and its wings spread wide.
Achieve.
To successfully complete a task or goal, often through hard work, perseverance, and dedication, to attain or accomplish something that one has set out to do.
Examples:
Achieve success. Achieve milestones. I will work hard to achieve my goals and realize my dreams.